Hey guys, it's me. You said change at the intro. My fault. You right. But today we are watching Marvel Animations, Marvel Zombies. Wait, Marvel Animations, Marvel Zombies. Yep, that's what it says. But it's this new, I guess, show or movie coming out on Disney Plus. I don't have Disney Plus, but you know I can still watch it. Don't ask how. Okay, but yeah, I'm excited for it because I've been seeing other people react to this trailer, so I already know what's like kind of what's in it. But after this video, we're gonna watch a breakdown. I haven't seen nobody watch or react to a breakdown. So I do like comic books and superheroes and shit and Marvel, and I like Marvel a lot. But I know some things, but I'm not like an expert, so I might miss things here and there. So that's why we're gonna watch a review or like what we missed type video after this. But this is I just got mature. Ain't gonna lie, Marvel with mature type shows or movies, they be fucking it up. Like only with like Deadpool, that was a good rated R type movie that they did. Or like what's another rated R movie or show that I've seen from Marvel? That was really it. Like Deadpool that I fuck with.
Let's go.
So hopefully they do this one justice. Damn. Oh shit. Wait, who's that? And these I think the zombies supposed to be like the actual like Avengers and shit. Nigga run ahead first to a train like a dickhead. Now look at you, squashed to the fucking pavement. Holy smokes. Who's that? Isn't that the Wakandan people? Let me get better. Can I get better graphics, my nigga? Thank you. Anyways. Is that the bald lady from Wakanda? I forgot her name. I'm sorry. That's disrespectful, but I don't know her name. But damn, holy smokes. The bullet knocked this nigga's head off, like in a real way. If y'all know who that is, y'all tell me in the comment section down below. But they probably gonna explain it in the video. But I'm trying to see who I can like see. Like I think this is Abomination. Okay, this is Abomination. I know who this is. This is Abomination. This is Lady from Wakanda, and I think this is Hawkeye. I don't know who this is. I don't know who that is. And that's of course Captain America. That's Abomination.
All the Avengers are dead.
Oh shit.
And they're coming for us.
Alright.
Now this is a W storyline, I ain't gonna lie. Can I show that on YouTube?
Shit.
Oh my god!
Okay, so this is gonna be very gory, I see. Very gory. Is that Thanos? Alright. They said all the Avengers are dead, nigga. There's three. Like, we have Black Panther, Spider-Man. Who is that? What? See, this is what I mean. Like, Spider-Man is just so swaggy with everything he do. Like, and I think it's supposed to be like I guess it's supposed to be like current gen Avengers, because this like the Tom Holland suit. So, but like, ain't gonna lie, this is like he pulled their head off with just the wet. Like this might be like I might make this my screensaver or some shit on my computer. Like this shit tough. That Thor. That Blade? Yeah, they got everybody in here. Omar. That Moon Knight? Because they got the little crest, so I'm guessing that's Moon Knight. But he's black, so I don't. And that's supposed to be Ghost. If you haven't seen the new Thunderbolts, that's what it's called, Thunderbolts. You guys should go watch that shit. So that could be like these niggas from Thunderbolts, cause that's Ghost. And I seen the other nigga in the red Guardian. I think that's his name.
Whoa, that's how you do that.
Yeah, this is the Thunderbolt niggas. Ain't gonna lie,
Damn.
that movie was tough. September 24th. I might tune in. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. I don't know none of them names. Can I be honest? I'm not good with names, so I probably know some of them, like seen some of them, but I just don't know the names of them. But let's move on to the look what we missed type shit, because I know I missed a whole bunch of shit. You see what I'm saying?
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and this is a breakdown of this sick new trailer for Marvel Zombies, the 4-part animated series coming September 24th on.
Okay, so it's a series. It's an animated series. I didn't know that, and it's 4 parts. So isn't that mean there's gonna be 4 seasons? Damn, that's a lot. But
Disney Plus, from a Blade Moon Knight variant to
okay, so it's Blade and Moon Knight.
Spider-Man ripping the heads off of zombies. There are so many cameos and sightings in this that I had to break this animation down to show you how Marvel can still cook when it wants to. Seriously, Marvel, if you can make Blade look this good, there's no reason the movie should be taking this long. The trailer opens like this.
I might just let this shit play, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna get the commentary over, but I'm gonna let it play.
I don't think we've ever seen any Marvel trailer open like this before. And in my opinion, coming right out with it and leaning into this required TVMA rating and using it in this creative way to sell this series is the right move here. I love how the floating text of the following preview is rated even reflects on the surface of the water at the bottom of the screen.
They did a lot of like, there's a lot of details in this shit, I ain't
that
gonna
this
lie.
text is part of the environment and thus capable of being affected by anything that is in this scene, like an arrow. The TVMA gets sliced through by an arrow and then sprayed by the blood of the zombie right as the zombie starts to say brains. And we hear some flies buzzing around as Kate Bishop Hawkeye steps forward to retrieve this arrow. And yes, I'm assuming it's Kate Bishop because Haley Steinfeld is listed in the voice cast. Yes, there is a Clint Barton in this, but he is already
I've seen her before, but I just didn't know her name. I don't think they would have gotten
Jeremy Renner in an audio booth just to have him voice. And you'll notice the blood now for this show is a proper shade of red. Back in the What If series, the blood was a more muted bluish color. But now that it's TVMA, the blood is red.
That's tough, that's tough.
Is a metal track.
See what I mean? Like before they were doing bullshit with the rated MA shit. Like you said, the blood before was like, and like he didn't really show it. Like they had to censor it. Or some shit, but I'm glad they
Baby Metal featuring singer
trying out new shit, because
really screams the cool part of the
I got good hopes for this show from this trailer.
Just went up last Friday, and the
I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. Why would I just looking at K-pop bitches dance? Like what I have to do with the trailer? What did I miss?
They would have gotten Jeremy Renner in an audio booth just to have him voice. And you'll notice the blood now for this show is a proper shade of red. Back in the What If series, the blood was a more muted bluish color. But now that it's TVMA, the blood is red. The music in this trailer is a metal track called From Me to You by Japanese metal band Baby Metal, featuring singer Poppy. She's the one who really screams the cool part of the chorus. The music video for this song literally just went up last Friday, and the lyrics seem to be warning specifically a hero trying to avoid an infection from a zombie virus, but the lyrics are coming from the point of view of those zombies who want to induct the hero into their tribe. I know you're scared because you're running for cover, but you might be running far, and if the demons know you're scared to death, then they will find you where you are. Is there a virus infecting your system? Have the cuts left an animal mark that will make you one of us, and we will never, never, never be apart? Yeah, this is kind of like what Zombie Scarlet Witch is telling all the people she's trying to make part of her horde in this season. The Marvel Zombies series is a spinoff from the What If Season 1 episode back in 2021, the 5th episode of the first.
Okay, I have heard of that What If show. I kind of want to watch it now because of this show coming. Because I have heard this is the spinoff from the. I guess it was an episode on there where it was like zombies and shit. So I do want to watch that because I guess then the show is basically like what if, like say, what if Doctor Strange never became a Sorcerer Supreme or some shit like that, like. What if Captain America never got his super serum soldier? Like it's just like what if, like type shit. So I might tune into that, like just to see what type of show this is, like, cause made by the same people, I'm pretty sure.
What if
So I want to see.
zombies? In this alternate universe, when Hank Pym was looking for Janet Van Dyne in the quantum realm, Janet had contracted what the Watcher described as a quantum virus that corrupted her brain, which causes a zombie
Nah, that's
outbreak
nutty.
to spread across America within a few hours, infecting even the Avengers. So when Bruce Banner returns to Earth to warn about Thanos in the events from the opening act of Avengers Infinity War, instead it ends up being a big, nasty zombie panic. Bruce joins
Oh, they
Hope
even
Van
use
Dyne
shit from the
Wasp and
movies, like, they
Spider-Man
copy
to
the
team
shit
up
from
with
the
the other
movies. That's
survivors,
tough.
including Happy Hogan, David Dastmalchian's character Kurt from the Ant-Man movies, Bucky, Sharon Carter, and Okoye. En route to Camp Lehigh in search for a cure, they get infected one by one and even run into zombie Wanda Maximoff. The episode ends with Peter Parker teaming up with T'Challa, whose leg was being harvested by zombie Scarlet Witch, and the disembodied head of Scott Lang with the cloak of levitation flying him around as they head in the quad jet to Wakanda, planning to use the Mind Stone from Vision to save the planet. But there they find waiting for them zombie Thanos with the other 5 of the 6 Infinity Stones in his gauntlet.
Nah,
That
that's
2021
nutty.
episode and this 4-part spin-off series are an adaptation of Robert Kirkman's 2006 comic run, and there were some parallels and nods to that storyline, but it is not a direct
this have been
adaptation
done
of that
before, like, they
storyline.
been did
Chadwick
this
Boseman
zombie shit.
voiced
They just
T'Challa
made
for
it
the
into a
What If
show.
Season 1 episodes
That's
in
tough.
one of his final performances before his death in 2020, but the character lives on, voiced by a to-be-announced voice actor on this series. As this trailer continues, we see some red-eyed zombies rushing down some stairs. We see a lot of zombies on this show with glowing red eyes, and I'm just gonna assume
thought they
that
all
any
had
zombie
red
with red
eyes.
eyes
Am
like
I
this
sure?
could be part of Wanda's controlled horde. We see some zombie soldiers bursting up from out of the
Might be
ground.
Dragon
and then
Gang. I
to
think they
San
just had red
Francisco,
eyes.
where we see
How do I tell you?
Awkwafina's character from the Shang-Chi film fleeing zombies with Shang-Chi at her side, both in their valet attendant uniforms, dodging one of the city's iconic trolleys piloted by this zombie.
never mind. His eyes
we
was
see
kinda
zombie
bluish.
Okoye with glowing
I
red
didn't-
eyes. She
Alright.
was infected by zombie Wanda in the Camp Lehigh sequence in the What If episode. She menacingly stands on a dock beside some body of water. This could end up being how Namor gets infected, but more on that theory later. Behind zombie Okoye, to the left of the fire, there is a big boy. I am wondering if this is zombie abomination Emil Blonsky, who's confirmed to be on
See, I
this
told you,
series and shows
see,
up
I
in
know
the later
some
shot
stuff.
beside
You know what I'm
Okoye.
saying?
So it
I
could
know
be that
some
back
stuff.
in 2018 in this universe, Emil Blonsky was in prison at Camp Lehigh and not yet in the detention center he was in She-Hulk. But I'm not sure exactly about how they got their hands on him. We also don't really know the fate of Bruce Banner Hulk. The last time we saw him, he was fighting with Wanda back at Camp Lehigh when the quad jet took off. But in the season 1 finale, zombie Wanda was brought to the Guardians of the Multiverse battle. So I assume from that Hulk didn't survive that battle. Next, there's a shot of San Francisco as U.S. military helicopters try to clear the city. You
Hulk
can see the
keep
Oakland
getting
Bay
washed
Bridge in
in
the
these, like,
background there.
Marvel
But back
shows
to
and
that
shit.
shot of
I
zombie
ain't gonna lie.
Okoye and zombie Abomination
Hulk
with zombie
just
Clint
keeps getting
Barton
shit
and
on.
zombie Ava Star Ghost. Zombie Steve Rogers returns from the subway sequence in the What If episode, but
said that
just
was
his
who,
top half
Ghost?
since he was in zombie Abomination with zombie Clint Barton and zombie Ava Star Ghost. Zombie Steve Rogers returns from the subway sequence in the What If episode, but just his top half since he was severed at the waist by Bucky's shield throw. We know from concept art that a zombie Carol Danvers will also be joining this group. Then we see zombie Abomination leaping ahead
They
of a
have
zombie
Captain
army
Marvel
that
as a
might
zombie?
be
How
part
do
of the
they
horde
even-
controlled by zombie Wanda. I also like that
Hey,
zombie
how-
Clint Barton
isn't
still has the
Captain Marvel,
functionality
like,
to use his
OP?
bow and
My
arrow,
nigga,
but
I
he
think
can't
it's
speak,
jumped by a
but
whole
he can
bunch of-
definitely
I mean,
pinch and
the
aim an arrow. That's how
Avengers did
good
become
of an
zombies
archer he
too,
was
so it's-
before he
hey, man,
got
that is
zombified.
what
We
it
hear the
is.
voice of Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova.
All the Avengers are dead. And they're coming for us.
Now, if this was in 2018, right as the events of Infinity War were supposed to have been taking hold, we know Yelena
Right.
was recently freed from her mind control in the Black Widow film, and now doing
Right.
missions to free other widows around the world, including Anna in her house. That was the flashback shown in Hawkeye episode 5. That is when the
Right.
snap happened. So that would have been the stage of Yelena's life.
I never
that
watched
she would have
Hawkeye
been in
either.
when
I gotta
the zombie
watch
outbreak
more, like,
began.
Marvel
Then we see
shows.
Shang-Chi
I ain't
telling
gonna lie. I
Katie,
gotta catch
all right,
up.
we got a world to save, and then we see the two of them
I
apparently
used to always
sharing
watch,
Ten
like,
Rings as they leap down
Marvel
the slower
shit,
level.
but-
And I'm assuming they are in the flooding
You know.
raft prison. Yes, that's a prison where President Ross ended up in Captain America Brave New World. But back in 2018, this was a prison for enhanced persons that Thaddeus Ross had tried to lock half of the Avengers up in. Now, I'm not sure if this is a raft. This just looks like the raft from what I assume are the higher levels of it. And on the floor of this location, on the left, you can see Red Guardian, Annie Elena, and Blade Knight. That's the Blade Moon Knight of the show. But also we know down there is Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel. Iman Vellani is joining
How
this
did he
voice
keep
cast.
that? How does he know that from that distance?
On the left, you
Sure.
can see Red Guardian,
Why not?
Annie Elena, and Blade Knight. That's the
nigga's
Blade
like,
Moon Knight of the show.
just
But also we know down there is
dragging
Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel. Iman Vellani is joining this voice cast. So I assume we must be a few years into the zombie apocalypse here, because back in 2018, Kamala Khan would have been very young, long before she found her grandmother's bangle and understood its hard light properties and their link to time
See,
travel.
I don't even know what show this is from. Again, I don't know what this is.
Into the Nord dimension. But I guess in this reality, Kamala must have had a very different backstory of finding and learning how to use that bangle. We know from 2022 concept art that also joining this lineup is Death Dealer from the Shang-Chi film, who I assume will be joining them from the San Francisco side of the group. That includes Shang-Chi, Katie, and Jimmy Woo. My job means I'm on camera all the time. I'm so aware of every little wrinkle or blemish. It's crazy. So when I'm just taking a selfie to capture a fun moment outside of work, I want that memory to look as good as it possibly can. And that's where Face App comes in. Face App gives get your thing sun download his app. I think Zombie Wanda might have sent her forces to the sea, and that's why Okoye was standing on the dock there. This would make this a very rare zombie story where oceans don't geographically isolate a zombie infection from other continents. And as the virus in Wanda's control spreads to the sea, that could lead Zombie Namor to this raft prison. But why are they on the raft? Well, yes, I know as a floating island prison, it would be untouched by the zombie virus until those forces collide there. But who or what are on the raft that they want? Are we going to learn of some other super powerful being that was locked up on the raft at the start of Infinity War in 2018? Could this be where Emil Blonsky Abomination was stored for a time? Or could there be one of the X-Men here whose mutant gene could be part of the zombie cure? I only mention it because Marvel Animation occupies an interesting space where they are allowed to have animated forms of the X-Men in the mix now, in ways that they weren't necessarily allowed to back when they were producing What If Season 1. Now, if you look closely, it looks like there are a lot of uninfected inmates in this location. Could Thaddeus Ross have been locking up mutants on the raft for decades? And that's where the mutants have been in the MCU all this time. Kamala and Namor, by the way, are also mutants. And then being here together in this location makes me think the M word could come up. Maybe this is all a race to the raft to get mutants on either side of this zombie versus survivor war to help that side win. But yes, we're skipping over the headline here. Blade Knight. This is a variant of Blade who becomes Moon Knight, and his appearance is
understand how this works.
Mahershala Ali, but he's being voiced by Todd Williams. So this tells us that one of these episodes is going to follow
Eric combine
Brooks,
two of their characters,
born a daywalker, half vampire, who also becomes a living vessel of the Egyptian moon deity of Khonshu, the Fist of Khonshu. And for him in this scene to be the one who identifies Namor is just another clue to the connection I brought up before, that all avatars of gods in the MCU are linked in a kind of hierarchy. Like Black Panther is a champion of Bast, Namor is a champion of Kukulkan, Moon Knight is the champion of Khonshu. And remember, in episode 5 of Moon Knight, Tuaret even name-dropped the Wakandan ancestral plane as what she said was another example of the kind of afterlife system that the Egyptian Duat is also part of. Then we see Randall Park joining this cast as Jimmy Woo in the episode where he's going to team up with Katie and Shang-Chi. Back in our shot of zombie Thanos and Wakanda from the final shot of What If Season 1 Episode 5 as Scott, T'Challa, and Spider-Man leap out at him. And yeah, it is crazy to see Black Panther still fighting even down a leg. We see an incredible maneuver as Spider-Man racks
like
up
that.
his
I ain't
zombie
gonna
kill
lie.
count, webbing the
Type of
heads of a
Wakanda
score of
technology
zombies
they
and
got, that's really
decapitating
just
them all,
simple
ripping out
tech,
their
like,
spines. There is some
just a
crazy
quick
rainbow
little leg
effect in the sky
transplant.
here that we
It
see
is
on
what it is,
Spider-Man's
bro.
flip, suggesting that this could be a battle with Thanos' forces and the Infinity Stones. Then this shot of a
like
thunderous
getting wiped
arrival
out
of some
during
street
an
figure.
fucking
This is not Thor,
zombie
it's not
apocalypse is
Odin.
crazy.
Yeah, this is Icarus from Eternals. Concept art back in
I've never seen that
2022
either.
confirmed that he would be in the season, at least a partially zombified Icarus. I guess we're gonna see
Oh, I
how the
thought that
zombie
was
virus
Thor.
affects
I'm
the
trying.
Eternals. Yes, Eternals are synthetic robots, but they were made at least partially out of living tissue that apparently gets somewhat infected by a virus. Thanos is also technically an Eternal, so if he gets zombified, so can people like Icarus or Kingo. I mean, in Robert Kirkman's comics, even Galactus gets infected by the zombie virus. And at the end of the day, this was a quantum virus. We don't really know what the source of it was and how powerful it is. But the hero shots of this trailer center around Blade Knight. I love how his sword reflects Khonshu as it passes in front of his face, and I like how Blade's eyes illuminate white, just as Mark Spector or Stephen Graham's eyes often would. The original
I did watch
patient
Moon
zero
Knight.
of this
I watched
virus,
Moon
Hank
Knight.
Pym and Janet Van Dyne, fly
That's
in,
crazy.
zombified and
I've
very
seen-
small, with Hank
I've
riding
never
the
seen
flying
any of
ant,
these
and
shows,
Blade
but Moon Knight,
slices
I ain't gonna
tiny
lie,
Hank in
that might
half,
be
showing his
bad.
insanely accurate precision, like
Moon
cutting
Knight
off
show
the
wasn't even
wings of
that
a
bad,
fly.
though. It was-
Then
it was
this
decent.
insane duel between Blade and zombie Ava Star
This
Ghost
nigga
as she
mixing her
teleports
shit
around him,
up.
but he seems to
I
anticipate
ain't gonna
every
lie.
one of her moves, and then finishes her off
She's
with a
so
no-look
ass.
stab of his sword through
Cooked
her
her
stomach.
shit.
He tricked her by looking the other way, knowing she would only appear on the side of him where his back was turned, and he uses that and stabs the sword behind him, and then and slices her up into chunks. Now, the fact that Elizabeth Olsen is top billed on the series is so exciting because they didn't need her to voice zombie Wanda in What If Season 1. The character was mostly growls and snarls by that point, so seeing her name now means that we're gonna get a flashback to how Wanda got to that point. And she is the one who jump scares us at the very end of the trailer, so I think zombie Wanda is gonna be a very big part of this plot event. Now, I'm not sure if we see Valkyrie or Ironheart in the trailer, but Tessa Thompson and Dominique Thorne were also listed among the cast. So is Wyatt Russell, so we're gonna see John Walker somewhere in here. There's gonna be some major Thunderbolts representation. By the way, Concept art back in 2022 implied that we might also see a lineup of Skrulls in this post-apocalypse. Okay, honestly, I'm seated for this show. Whoever edited this trailer deserves a raise. Comment down below with your thoughts, and a special thanks to one of our YouTube members, Bro, who supports us at the executive producer.
Alright, anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And yeah.